So what we're going to go over next is how to take an equation and graph that equation. We're going to take this equation of this line right here and we're going to graph it. This is in slope-intercept form. And since it's in slope-intercept form, we know we have two pieces of information. We know we have the slope, which is located right here in front of the x, and we have the y-intercept. If we're going to graph this, we need a starting point, someplace to start. You will always start by graphing this y-intercept. Remember, this is the y-intercept, so you look for the y-axis, and you find this number on the y-axis. So my y-intercept is -2, so I'm going to find -2 on the y-axis, 1, 2, and that's going to be my starting point right there. The next thing I'm going to do is use my slope. Here's how you use the slope. You're always going to use it from this point right here that you just graphed. The top number is where my y's are. Remember, to find your slope, you take your y's and subtract them and put them in the top. That means this top number is going to tell me to go up or down. If this number is positive, I'm going to go up. If this number is negative, I'm going to go down. The bottom number is going to tell me to go forward every single time. So this top number is +1. That means I'm going to go up 1. The bottom number is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just found my other point. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to draw the graph for this line right here. There's the graph of this line. I start off by graphing the y-intercept, and then I use the slope to find my next point. Example number 2. Example number 2, it is also written in slope-intercept form. Remember, if it's written in slope-intercept form, it gives me two pieces of information. It tells me what the slope of this line is, and it tells me what the y-intercept is. I'm always going to start by graphing the y-intercept. The y-intercept for this problem is -1. So I need to find -1 on my graph. Here's my y-axis, and here's -1 on the y-axis. The next thing I'm going to use is the slope. Here's how I use the slope. The top number tells me to go up or down. Since this is a -2, I'm going to go down 2. And then this bottom number is going to tell me to go across. I'm going to go across 3. So the top number tells me to go up or down. If it's positive, I go up. If it's negative, I go down. And this number tells me to go forward every single time. So this is -2 So this is going to tell me to go down 2 from this point right here. I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. There's another point on that line. I can use the slope to find other points. I can continue on from this point. Remember, the slope is -2/3. That means go down 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Take my ruler, draw a line going through all those points. That's me using the equation to graph this line right here. Example number 3. Example number 3, again, is written in slope-intercept form. Remember, if it's written in slope-intercept form, this is my slope right here, and this number on the end is my y-intercept. This is where I'm always going to start, with this number on the end, the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -5, so I look at my graph, and I find -5 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I need to use my slope. The slope is usually written as a fraction. That's when it's useful, when it's written as a fraction. This is not written as a fraction. The way I write this number as a fraction is I put it over 1, like that right there. So now this is telling me to go up 2 over 1. The top number tells me to go up or down. The bottom number tells me to go across. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1. So I'll go back to the point that I graphed. I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2 over 1. I could use that slope again to get another point. Go up 2, 1, 2 over 1. Again, up 2, 1, 2 over 1. Up 2, 1, 2 over 1. Up 2, 1, 2 over 1. All those points create a line. Take my ruler, draw my line. I just use this equation to graph this line. I use the y-intercept first and then the slope. Example number 4. Example number 4 is written in slope-intercept form. Again, this is my slope right here in front of x, but I'm going to start with this number on the end, my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 4. So I look at my graph and I find 4 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I use my slope. My slope needs to be written as a fraction. To write this number as a fraction, I put it over 1. This is telling me to go down 3 over 1. So I'm going to do that for this point. I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. I can do it again. Down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. I can do it again. Down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. Down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. All these points create a line. Take my ruler. I just use this equation to graph this line. So now we're going to go over how to do this in IXL. IXL is going to give you something that's in slope-intercept form. Again, I'm going to use the y-intercept. So I go down, find -5 on the y-axis. Then this needs to be written as a fraction. That's -5 over 1. That means I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Click there, hit enter. It's going to give me the next problem. Here's what the next problem looks like. This is in slope-intercept form. I need to graph the y-intercept right here first. So here's my y-axis. Go up on the y-axis to 5, put a point right there, click it. Then I'm going to use my slope. Looking at my slope right here, my slope is telling me to go down 4 over 5. And that's what I'm going to do from this point right here. I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click, hit enter. I'm going to graph this one. This problem is written in slope-intercept form. That means I'm going to graph the y-intercept down here on the end first. Here's my y-axis. So I find 8 on the y-axis, click it, put a point there, then use the slope. Here's my slope. My slope is telling me to go down 7 over 5. And that's what I'm going to do from this point. Down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to graph this one right here. I start by graphing the y-intercept, which is +9. Here's my y-axis right here. I go up to +9. Then I need to use my slope. My slope is usually written as a fraction. How do I write -6 as a fraction? That's -6 over 1. That means I'm going to go down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1.